Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Silver Shroud Costume. For 2 colorless, it's an artifact equipment with flash, and when Silver Shroud Costume enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains Shroud until end of turn. It can't be the target of spells or abilities. Equipped creature can't be blocked, and equip 3. So this is a very interesting card, and I think it's both better and worse than some existing cards, so let's jump into why I think that is. There's been a rise recently with equipments that have flash and auto-equip when they come into play. The reason I think that Wizards has been testing this out is that equipments can sometimes be a little bit clunky to play when you consider in that you have to pay an additional cost that you can still be blown out for by somebody holding up removal. So they've tried to mitigate this somewhat by giving you a free equip, which has been amplified then by playing a lot of equipments with flash that kind of function as instants that then stick around and give you tangible value and that you can sink extra mana into later on in the game to get some extra benefits. I think this has gone a long way to make some of those cards very playable. A big example of course being Mithril Coat, which is an absolute powerhouse of a card that has been doing very well in the Commander format as a great way to protect commanders, and this kind of occupies a similar space as that card because instead of giving Indestructible, this one is giving Shroud the turn that it comes in, so it can kind of act as protection against a targeted removal spell, which is something very useful, and not only on legendaries as well, so in a way it can be better than Mithril Coat in certain situations. Mithril Coat will do nothing against a Path to Exile, for example, whereas this will completely negate that card. The card that this is going to draw very obvious comparisons to, though, is Whisper Silk Cloak, and when we consider that comparison, I'm not as sure that it's necessarily better than Whisper Silk Cloak. I've seen people on the internet say that they think it is, but Whisper Silk Cloak does have some advantages over this card. The first one, of course, is that Whisper Silk Cloak gives the Shroud permanently. It's not only the turn it comes in. It's easy to miss, but Silver Shroud Costume actually only protects your creature from removal on the turn when you cast it. After that, it can be removed as normal, which is definitely a big downside compared to Whisper Silk Cloak. Whisper Silk Cloak is also much better if you plan on switching the equipment around, seeing as the equip cost is 2 and the cost of the artifact itself is 3, so it's kind of the opposite of Silver Shroud Costume. Because of all that, the emphasis on Silver Shroud Costume is that you're going to be getting most of your value when you play the card as protection against removal, and not so much for the actual ability on the artifact, although it is still very good. Having the creature not be able to be blocked is a powerful effect that actually I've been valuing a lot in Commander lately. Being able to get through with creatures has been really good. It's one of the reasons that Key of the City has been going up in value for me lately. I really think that card is super powerful. So with all of those things considered, where does this stand exactly? How playable is it? Is it going to be better than Whisper Silk Cloak, which isn't exactly a powerhouse in the first place? Well, I do think it is overall probably going to be more useful because of the protection aspect of it, which makes this kind of into a modal spell. It's nice to have that flexibility. You can also just run it out normally and swing if you really need the unblockable ability. So all of that makes me think that this is actually going to be quite a good card that's going to see a decent amount of play, particularly in colors that don't really have access to much protection against spot removals such as red. Red also tends to be a color that wants to be swinging in for damage, so having a creature not be able to be blocked is definitely a useful ability. I'm definitely going to be testing it out in a couple of decks and hopefully it performs well. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.